People often think attraction is simple. They think it is just about the obvious move, the obvious kiss, the obvious spark, and everything else will follow. But real attraction does not usually begin where people expect. It often starts in the quiet places, in the pauses, in the small touches that seem harmless on the surface, yet stay in someone's mind long after the moment is over. A light touch can do more than create chemistry. It can create attention. It can pull someone out of their thoughts and into the exact second they are sharing with you. That is what makes it powerful. Not force, not pressure, presence. The truth is, the body remembers what the mind tries to act cool about. A person may look calm. He may sound confident. He may seem totally in control. But the right kind of touch, given at the right moment, can change the whole mood without a single dramatic move. And that is where real connection becomes unforgettable. It is not about doing too much. It is about understanding timing, understanding feeling, understanding that sometimes the smallest gesture creates the biggest reaction. Stay with me, because what comes next is where most people get it wrong. They rush, they overdo it. They miss the moments that matter. And once you understand these moments, your energy changes, your confidence changes. Even the way someone responds to your presence begins to change. One of the strongest places to create that feeling is the back of the neck. It sounds simple, but the effect can be surprisingly deep. This area carries tension, alertness, and emotion all at once. It is a place people rarely expect to be touched with softness, which is exactly why it stands out. A gentle touch there can break through stress in seconds. It can shift someone from thinking mode into feeling mode. Imagine standing next to him while he is focused on something else. You do not interrupt with a big move. You let your fingertips rest lightly near his shoulder, then slowly move upward toward the base of his neck. No rush, no performance, just calm intention. That tiny movement can create a strong reaction because it feels personal. It feels close. It tells him you are comfortable enough to enter his space with ease, and comfort like that is attractive. If you lean in slightly and speak in a low, relaxed voice, the moment becomes even stronger. Not because the words have to be perfect, but because the tone carries warmth. It could be a simple comment, a quiet joke. Even one soft sentence can land differently when paired with that kind of touch. This is where attraction stops being loud and starts becoming memorable. And that is the difference. Anyone can be obvious. Very few people know how to be subtle and unforgettable at the same time. That is where the real power is, and we are only getting started. What makes this kind of touch work is not mystery for the sake of mystery. It is the mix of surprise and safety. The body notices unexpected contact right away, especially in a place that feels sensitive or personal. For one quick second, attention sharpens. Then, when the touch stays gentle, the feeling changes. The body relaxes, the mind softens. That fast shift from alertness to comfort creates a reaction people often cannot explain, but they definitely feel it. That is why the way you move matters more than the move itself. If your hand is rushed, it can feel random. If it is calm, it feels intentional. Try this in a natural moment. You are beside him, maybe talking, maybe sharing a quiet space. Let your fingers move lightly from the top of his shoulder to the back of his neck, and pause there just long enough for the moment to register. Do not overplay it. Let the silence do some of the work. If he takes a deeper breath, if his posture changes, if his focus suddenly shifts toward you, that is the signal. The body responds before words do. And here is the part most people miss. You do not always need to finish the moment with something bigger. Sometimes the smartest move is to pull back just a little. Let the feeling stay unfinished. Let the moment breathe. That small bit of restraint can make the memory stronger, because anticipation is often more powerful than completion. If you understand that, you already know more than most people ever learn about attraction. Another place that matters more than people realize is the chest. Not in an obvious or dramatic way, but in a grounding way. A person's chest carries posture, breath, tension, and emotion. It is where someone braces themselves when life gets heavy. It is where they hold pressure, pride, and sometimes feelings they do not say out loud. So when your hand rests there with calm confidence, it can feel deeply reassuring. It says, without words, I see you. I am here. You do not need to perform for this moment. That is why this touch can be so powerful in both romantic and emotional connection. Picture a quiet scene. You are close. Maybe sitting together, maybe standing still after a long day. Instead of reaching for a dramatic move, you place your hand flat against his chest and simply leave it there. Let it settle. Let the warmth build. Let the moment be steady. If your breathing slows, the whole interaction changes. It feels less like flirting for effect and more like real closeness. And that kind of closeness stays with people. A light movement of the thumb, a slow circle, even the smallest motion can make the moment feel more alive. If you look into his eyes while doing it, the effect becomes stronger because now there are two signals happening at once: touch and attention, warmth and focus. And when someone feels both at the same time, they do not just notice it, they remember it. Keep watching because the next detail may be the one people underestimate the most. You can also change the feeling completely by using your fingertips instead of your full hand. This is where playful energy comes in. A flat palm can feel safe and grounding. Fingertips can feel curious, light, and full of tension. When you trace small patterns across the chest, even through a shirt, you create movement without needing a big gesture. It feels less direct, yet often more magnetic. Why? Because light touch makes the body pay attention. It creates a question. It makes someone wonder what happens next. And that wondering is part of the attraction. You do not have to say much. In fact, saying less can make the moment stronger. Let your touch do the work. Let your eye contact do the rest. A slow line from the center of the chest outward. A lazy circle near the collarbone, a soft pause before you move again. Those details turn a normal moment into something that feels cinematic. This is also where appreciation matters. Not fake praise, not overdone lines, just genuine warmth. If he has been carrying stress, your touch can say, slow down. If he has been trying to stay composed, your touch can say, you do not have to be guarded right now. That emotional message is often stronger than the physical one, and people can feel the difference immediately. There is a huge gap between being touched for effect and being touched with real intention. One feels temporary, the other feels personal. When you learn how to create that personal feeling, even simple moments start to carry weight far beyond what anyone else can see. And then there are the hands. This is where things become really interesting, because hands are not just another part of the body. They are how people act on the world. They build, hold, guide, fix, protect, and express. That is why attention to someone's hands can feel so intense. It shifts the dynamic. Instead of him using his hands to lead the moment, you turn his hands into the place where the moment happens. It is subtle, but powerful. A lot of people hold hands without really feeling them. They do it casually, almost automatically. But if you slow the action down, if you make it deliberate, the emotional effect changes completely. Take his hand as if it matters. Turn it gently. Trace the lines in his palm with the tip of your finger. Not because you are trying to be dramatic, but because attention itself is intimate. When you focus on a part of someone that most people overlook, it creates a feeling of being deeply noticed. And that feeling is rare. You can say something light, something playful, something calm. The words are not the main event. The focus is. The pace is. The way you hold the moment is. Even a quiet pause while your thumb moves across his palm can create more tension than a louder, more obvious move. That is the beauty of detail. Most people chase bigger moments. The smarter move is often to make the smaller moment feel bigger. And once someone feels that kind of attention from you, ordinary contact no longer feels ordinary. The wrist adds another layer because it carries softness, pulse, and vulnerability all at once. It is an easy place to miss and an impossible place to forget when touched the right way. When your thumb circles the inside of his wrist slowly, the moment can feel strangely personal, almost like you are touching the rhythm beneath the surface instead of just the skin. That is why it stands out. It feels quiet but direct, close but not too obvious. And because it is unexpected, it lands with more force than people think. The key is still the same. No rush, no heavy performance, just attention. Let the touch stay small. Let the moment stay honest. If you are sitting close, even the simple act of holding his hand and letting your thumb rest over his pulse can create a calm intensity that words cannot easily copy. And if you combine that with eye contact and a little silence, the whole room seems to slow down. This is something many people never learn. Attraction is not always about escalation. Sometimes it is about deepening, about making 1 second feel fuller, richer, more alive. That is what creates memory. That is what creates pull. And if you're enjoying this so far, keep going, because the next part is where touch becomes not just attractive, but unforgettable in everyday life, even when nothing dramatic is happening at all. The biggest mistake people make is saving all of their warmth for obviously romantic moments. But some of the strongest moments happen in casual settings, when a touch feels natural instead of planned. A hand on the chest before a hug, fingers at the back of the neck while passing by, a slow squeeze of the hand while walking next to each other. These gestures look simple from the outside, but they carry emotional weight because they happen in real life, not just in staged moments. They say, "I am connected to you, even here, even now, even when nobody else notices." That private feeling inside a public moment can be incredibly powerful. It creates a kind of invisible conversation. No speech, no big show, just a signal. You and me, still here, still close. And that is part of what makes someone think about you later. Not just because the touch felt good, but because it felt meaningful. This is especially true when the touch seems effortless, not random, not rehearsed, just part of the energy you naturally bring. A warm palm at the center of his back as you move through a room together, fingers brushing his hand before letting go, a quick touch at the base of the neck while he is distracted, followed by nothing more than a calm smile. Those moments do not demand attention. They create it. And people remember what pulled them in without trying too hard. That is the secret many miss. Real magnetism does not chase, it draws. Quietly, consistently. And once that feeling becomes associated with you, your presence starts working before you even say a word. There is also something important about restraint. If every touch tries to become the biggest moment of the night, the magic disappears. Touch becomes stronger when it has rhythm. Warmth, then pause. Closeness, then space. Attention, then ease. This rhythm gives the other person time to feel what just happened. It lets the moment echo, and the echo is often where attraction grows. Think about how powerful it is when someone expects you to keep going, but instead, you smile, step back, and let the tension stay in the air for a second longer. That pause creates curiosity. Curiosity creates focus. Focus creates emotional pull. This does not mean playing games. It means understanding pacing. Fast when the energy is playful. Slower when the moment is deep. Light when the room is casual. Steady when the connection is real. People who understand pacing do not rely on one move. They create a flow, and a flow is much harder to forget. If you are learning something here, remember this part. Attraction is not built only by contact. It is built by what the contact means, how it arrives, and what you let it leave behind. A touch that ends too quickly can feel random. A touch that stays too long can feel forced. But a touch that arrives at the perfect moment and leaves just enough behind can stay in someone's head for hours, sometimes days. That is not an accident. That is awareness. What truly changes everything is intention. A touch can say many things depending on the energy behind it. It can say, I want your attention. It can say, I admire you. It can say, relax. It can say, I am with you. It can say, I notice more than other people do. The body often understands these messages faster than the mind can explain them. That is why touch without intention feels empty, even if the move itself is technically right. And touch with intention can feel unforgettable, even if it is unbelievably simple. This is why the best moments are rarely the most dramatic ones. They are the truest ones. The moments when your attention is fully there. The moments when your body language matches your words. The moments when your presence feels calm instead of performative. If you want connection to feel stronger, stop asking what the perfect move is and start asking what you want the other person to feel. Safe, wanted, seen, chosen, appreciated. Once that becomes clear, your touch changes naturally. It stops looking like technique and starts feeling like truth. And truth has a different kind of power. It is quieter but deeper, softer but stronger. So when you touch the back of his neck, the center of his chest, or the lines of his hand, do not think only about effect. Think about message, because the message is what stays. The message is what turns a passing moment into something that keeps replaying long after the room goes silent. In the end, it is not about controlling anyone. It is not about trying to win some secret game. The strongest kind of attraction is built on awareness, confidence, and genuine connection. A thoughtful touch works because it feels human. It feels attentive. It feels rare in a world where most people are distracted, rushed, or performing for reaction. When you slow down enough to create a real moment, people notice. They may not always know how to describe it, but they feel the difference. They feel when a gesture carries care. They feel when closeness is steady instead of scattered. They feel when someone's energy invites them to relax instead of impress. And that is the kind of presence that becomes unforgettable. So yes, the back of the neck matters. The chest matters. The hands matter. But more than any one place, what matters is how you show up. Calm, intentional, a little playful, fully present. That is the combination that changes everything. If you can bring that energy into your touch, even the smallest moment can become charged with meaning. And once you understand that, attraction stops feeling like guesswork. It starts feeling like a language. Quiet, powerful, personal. The kind of language that does not need to shout to be heard. And if you've made it this far, you already know this was never really about touch alone. It was about connection, tension, timing, and the kind of presence people remember when the moment is over.